What would you do if the home you spent your whole life working for your own slice of peace and quiet on the lake was suddenly invaded by over 100 strangers, all because your HOA president decided your sanctuary was now community property? Yeah, I know. Sounds like a bad joke, except that's exactly what happened to me. One minute I'm living the dream. Next thing you know, my living room is a public playground. My clothes are being tried on by people I've never met. And some lady with a clipboard is barking orders on my front porch like she owns the place. Welcome to Lake Norman Estates. You want to hear how it went down? Pull up a chair. I was 50 when I finally closed on this place. Wide glass doors opening up to the sunrise, polished wood floors, the kind of kitchen you only see in glossy magazines. My whole career in tech bouncing between airports, sleeping in rental cars, man. I was tired. My folks back in Fayetteville never even dreamed of a spot like this. My mama used to say, if you want peace, you better build it with your own two hands. So I did. The first week I barely left. Unpacked slow, let the quiet sink in, fished off my dock with bare feet in the morning mist. That feeling like you're the only person in the world, that's what I worked for. The neighbors were polite but a little, chilly. Most of them just gave me the once-over and kept walking. It didn't bother me. I didn't come here to win popularity contests. But pretty soon the welcome to the neighborhood wore off and the papers started piling up in my mailbox. HOA notices about my lawn, about the color of my deck chairs, even about my dang fence. And every letter had the same name at the bottom, Geraldine Caffrey, HOA president. I'd never met her, but folks sure talked about her. Unyielding, one neighbor muttered. Another rolled his eyes and said, she thinks she runs the whole shoreline. I shrugged it off. How bad could one bossy neighbor be? Turns out, Geraldine was the kind of person who sees rules as weapons, not guidelines. 60-something, hair pulled back so tight I wondered how she even blinked, always carrying that clipboard like it was the Constitution. First time we met, she marched right up my driveway, didn't even knock, just started pointing out aesthetic issues. My deck chairs, too bold, my dock light wrong bulb. I said, ma'am, I just moved in. Can I breathe a little before I repaint the whole place? She gave me that tight-lipped smile, the kind you see at a funeral, not a barbecue. Our rules apply equally to everyone. Yeah, that happened. Honestly, I tried to let it go, figured if I kept my head down she'd leave me alone. But Geraldine, she doesn't leave people alone. Next thing I know, neighbors are hinting that I might host a community event. Word gets around that my house is the perfect place for her nephew's graduation party. And apparently I'm the host. I just didn't know it yet. Let me back up a sec. Geraldine was spinning this whole narrative at HOA meetings. We need a big space for community gatherings, and Mr. LaClaire's mansion is perfect. Some folks pushed back, but most were so used to her running the show, they just nodded along. She convinced herself and everyone else that my home wasn't just mine. It was in her twisted mind part of the greater good. It all came to a head one Thursday evening. I was at the grocery store when my neighbor Sharon asked if I was excited for the party. I just stared at her. What party? She looked like she'd seen a ghost. Geraldine said you were hosting the big graduation bash this weekend. That was news to me. Next morning I showed up on Geraldine's porch all business. She answered with that same fake smile. It's a community celebration, Marion. Your home is the perfect space. Think of it as your chance to integrate. I said I never gave you permission. She looked me dead in the eye. Sometimes it's not about permission. It's about participation. That's not participation, lady. That's trespassing. Over the next week, my place turned into a construction site. Caterers, rental tents, even valet parking, all approved by the HOA president. I called my lawyer, Victor. Document everything he said. They can't do a thing without your consent. If they set foot on your property, that's trespassing. I thought, okay, I'll be ready. I had no idea what was coming. That Saturday, while I was out of town on business, Geraldine turned my house into Party Central. By sundown, the quiet lakeside was a zoo, cars everywhere, music blaring, strangers lugging beer through my front gate. Geraldine stood at the top of my driveway like the ringmaster of some circus directing traffic. People were in my kitchen, my bedroom, even trying on my jackets. Kids trashed my pool, teens spilled drinks all over my imported rugs. The place was a wreck. And the best part, Geraldine waltzed around accepting compliments, telling everyone I was proud to be the new community host. I didn't find out until later that night. Text from Sharon, big party at your place tonight looks wild. I called her. I didn't approve anything. That's my home. She sounded nervous. Geraldine said it was all set. Valets even parked out front. I sat there in my hotel room fuming. By the time I got back Sunday, my yard looked like a landfill, tire tracks in the grass, trash everywhere, a big "Congrats Dylan" banner flapping on my porch. Inside, it was even worse, overturned furniture stains on $1,000 rugs, greasy handprints on my glass table, half-eaten food everywhere. Upstairs, shoes on my bedspread, lipstick on my bathroom mirror, jackets missing from the closet. My dock was cracked boat cover, torn everything I'd worked for, trashed. First call I made was to Geraldine. She answered chipper as ever. Tremendous success, wouldn't you say? I just about lost it. You broke into my house, ruined my property, let strangers touch my things. That's not community, Geraldine, that's trespassing. She didn't even flinch. Careful American words like that carry weight. The HOA has broad discretion. You wouldn't want to appear combative. Combative lady, you have no idea. I hung up and called Victor. He told me to document everything, photos, receipts, witness names. I wasn't just going to let this slide. Next morning, I walked over to Geraldine's house, meticulous as a postcard flag, flying shrubs like soldiers. She tried to play it cool, but when I told her I'd be suing, the smile finally slipped. Do what you feel you must, she said. But remember, the community tends to side with me. I told her, then the community will learn what happens when you trample on someone's rights. Word spread fast. People panicked when they realized I was naming every party guest in the lawsuit, over 100 of them, $100,000 each. Geraldine called an emergency HOA meeting, tried to talk her way out of it. Some neighbors blamed her. Others blamed me. I didn't care. I wasn't after revenge. I wanted accountability. Court day came. Neighbors packed the gallery like it was a football game. My lawyer laid out the photos, the damage, the witness statements. Sharon admitted on the stand. Geraldine said it was approved. Douglas, a board member, glared at Geraldine and said, "We trusted your word." When Geraldine took the stand, she tried to spin it. "I only wanted to build community, Your Honor." But the judge cut through it. "Did Mr. LeClaire give you permission?" Pause. "Not explicitly." Judge raised an eyebrow. "Or not at all?" Geraldine's voice shrank. "Not at all." Ruling came down hard, trespassing, property damage, liability for Geraldine and every attendee. The room erupted. Some people gasped, others just slumped in their seats. Geraldine's clipboard hit the floor, and for the first time since this circus began, I felt not happy, but vindicated. After that, Lake Norman Estates changed. The whispers stopped being about me and started being about Geraldine. She got booted from the HOA. Some folks even said she might lose her house. Neighbors who used to wave now closed their blinds. Sharon came by, wringing her hands. "People think you went too far," she said. I just shook my head. I didn't invite 100 strangers into my home. Maybe now folks will think twice before trampling someone's rights. The case made the news. Strangers sent me letters, some cheering me on, others sharing their own horror stories. One guy from Texas wrote, "You gave me the courage to stand up to my HOA." And that right there made it worth every headache, every sleepless night. You want to know what I learned? Boundaries matter. Respect matters. If you don't draw the line, someone else will move it for you and then call it community spirit. I didn't do this for a payday or because I hate my neighbors. I did it because if you let bullies run the show, nothing is yours, not even your peace. So let me ask you, where would you draw the line? If it was your home, your memories, your sanctuary, would you let someone waltz in and take over in the name of community? Or would you stand up and fight for what's yours, even if the whole block called you the villain? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Ever had an HOA horror story, or maybe you think I went too far? Tell me where you stand. And if you want to hear more stories about standing up when it counts, hit subscribe. Because sometimes doing the hard thing isn't just about protecting your house, it's about reminding everyone else that respect is the real foundation of any neighborhood.